Hello, little video here about forearm conditioning. In particular, the ulna. Check that, I've got it written down. I always forget them. The ulna, which is close to the surface. As with the shin, it's kind of sensitive. It's close to the surface, and so it takes more kind of conditioning. You got the radius on the other side. That's kind of a bit more protected. Whereas this one, it's right, you can feel it. I mean, even if you're big, it's still, there's not much padding there, so to speak. So you've got to get this one conditioned. That said, I mean, you can see breaks on YouTube, people breaking their forearm and stuff. People have done amazing breaks and they get conditioned very highly. But for the most part, the thing in films where the hero raises his arm and the person coming down, in an action from the person coming down with a bat or something, it bounces harmlessly off the arm, or even, the bat breaks or something. Obviously, it's, in real life, this would just break in what's called a parry fracture to parry, because they're not the thickest bones, especially not conditioning them. So, we want to try and condition this one, and it's one. I'll do it from the karate's perspective. It's raising the arm. You always have this, the beginner, to get your beginner belts and that, raising the arm and then strike and stuff. I'll quote someone infinitely more knowledgeable at such things than myself, would be like Jeff Thompson. Watch My Back. He wrote Watch My Back about his experiences as a doorman. I mean, he's very well known, Jeff Thompson. You probably know who he is, but back in the day when he was working these really rough northern clubs in England, north of England, and he learned then what works and what doesn't work, and he said it's all a waste of time. But it gives you the idea of presenting this part as a blocking tool or coming down. And again, even to try and block a kick or something is probably not going to happen. So that's the cold hard truth of the matter. But for all of that, we still get it conditioned, because as I say, on the other side, you do see people breaking with arms and stuff. There's one, I don't know if it's what to believe anymore, but that woman who got busted telling lies, what was her name? Chindra Kandrania. She had these things of her, what was she doing? She was kicking through scaffold poles and stuff. There was something else she got busted for. That was it. She was punching and kicking like concrete pillars and knocking chunks off them, and then when they got checked out by someone else, it was like you could see it being hit by a hammer or a monkey wrench or something. But anyway, the person she said was her master, which is apparently is actually her husband. There's a video of him slamming his arm, I think both sides, into like a metal door frame. I don't know, after the expose of her channel, and it's her husband, not a master, but it's not for me to say it's false, but it looks pretty damn impressive. But I don't know. As I say, certain videos that I do believe are real is like people like all doing that. There seems to be an inner arm break. So, of like baseball bats and stuff swinging their arm. But so how do we do? One thing I really like about conditioning is you can be quite lazy. I tend to condition head to toe, pretty much, literally, bit by bit, gradually, while I'll be studying. I've got a favourite video of Japanese verbs and stuff, because I live in Japan and I'm still like only halfway there on the language. Probably will be the rest of my life, but whatever. But I can have that playing. It's almost like I do my, fortunately I've got access to the dojo pretty much any time I want it, really, at the temple where I work, and I work outdoors. That's can be almost like a workout in itself. And so this, it's like when I'm kicking back, I'll get a drink, but I could just do that while watching something or listening to something, and just doing it at my own pace. You don't want to hurt yourself, obviously. I've mentioned before, when I started out, I kind of thought I had to get just all bruised up and then that would heal and I'd be magically, I don't know what's going through my head. But so I sort of slammed my arm against this metal pillar in the dojo, and so I just got this bump on my arm, which, because I'm a hypochondriac, sent me to the doctor, and the doctor sent me away, telling me not to be so pathetic. So yeah, avoid doing that, just gradually. And the unfortunate truth, I think, of conditioning is if you stop doing it for any length of time, it will actually start to go back to how it, it was. So I can do the shins pretty well now. The forearms are coming along. So it's any rough surface. It's the one thing I like. It's like I did the wabi sabi approach to martial arts, just really simple, basic, utilising stuff I've used this before. So it's the old bit of scaffolding, metal scaffolding I found. It's a zero fancy equipment. I'm not buying anything. It's not costing me any money. That makes me sound like quite a stingy kid. Yeah, and I'm just, as I say, I'm studying, and then I've got a stone with kind of rougher edges, and I might hit that. I mean, this is videos for forearms, but so I'll alter it about a bit, or maybe you can just do the head. But primarily for this video, yeah, up to the wrists, and then well, I'm very careful. See my elbows. I saw a video the other day of the great Judd Reed, the Australian karateka who did, I think, heavyweight championship karate champion, #1 in the world, and then he did the 100-man kumite, which is 100 consecutive full contact karate matches. That's one after the other. And his elbows are like, I think the old Thai kickboxers call it sharpening the elbows, when you condition your elbows, because they stick out like that. They actually protrude. Looks it's quite striking. Silver's done a lot of that, banging them into some canvas hanging bag or whatever. You can hit him like that. I mean, this is definitely such conditioning work. It's done across the globe. I said this. I had a moan about such people when I talked about iron fist or iron hand training, call it whatever you will, but people who rubbish it or say, oh, it's just for Neanderthals and Muppets, and you should learn speed instead, or and all this sort of thing. Well, there's an awful lot of very, like I say, for example, Judd Reed, who said your hands. I've just read his book, The Ronin Years. Well, I've read both of them. On the Ronin Years, after he trained with Masayama, he said, everything about it should be conditioned, should be an instrumental part of your training. Iron body, you should be conditioned to take. Blows. It's the unfortunate truth of the matter. It's in films you might have the Crouched Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You might have these people magically running over the tops of trees and stuff, but in real life, you have to be able to take a certain amount of blows, and that's just the way it is. So yeah, I mean, as it stands, it could be more basic, and that to me is one of the beauty of it. As I say, you can do it anytime, anywhere. I mean, if you got something to hit, being anyway, you find somewhere to strike your arm against the wall, and so you're just doing it slowly, carefully, and just building up. Just accept it as a part of your training that you're going to do and enjoy, hopefully most days. And it just goes on. It just stretches ahead. There's no time limit or anything else. It's just something you're going to do along with everything else. Cheers.